And we are live. Bobby G's in the building. How are you doing?
Doing great. Always happy to be here.
I had some questions about you last night when I was trading. And it was about your 75k level. I did promise I would ask you first thing on the stream with you, is those 75k limit orders, do they still exist for you on Bitcoin at today's end recording?
Oh, absolutely. Nothing's changed.
Okay, what's so strong about the 75k? Is it these wicks on the weekly that you're looking at? Is that the strong kind of support? That's basically what he was asking. Is that the answer? That's why?
I mean, in a nutshell, yes.
Okay.
That's how they build liquidity. Market makers will take you to the upside a little bit, and then they create liquidity. It's more of a controlled drop, so it's not a straight shot all the way down.
Okay, and anything else on altcoins as well? You're being a little bit quiet, Bobby. Give me one-word answers.
No. I'm not being quiet. I mean, actually, if you look at the market, it's basically like a short-term sort of relief rally that's really loading.
Mm-hmm.
You sort of see like a fake bear flag, but it's this is what's going to liquidate a lot of the people who went short late, if that makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
And I know all the hype right now is with the Bank of Japan right now, but the market's already pricing that in. So it's going to be a sell the news event, mark my words.
Okay, cool. Let's get into today's topic then. And this is going to be, and this is actually your idea, Bobby, gambling or high risk investing. Okay, I said don't need to tell me that. Don't know why you're texting me that. Let's talk about this because this was your idea, right? Gambling versus high risk investing. And I think it's a good point, okay? Because as you know, every single day, every single nighttime, I have been, some would say gambling, some would say high risk investing, some would say scalping. Bobby, what category would you put this under as we're best friends and I don't have thin skin?
I mean, after seeing you in action, that's straight up scalping.
A little bit of gambling because I am 16 for 15, or that I've lost one. I hit 5 last night with a lagging signal. My BitUnix was fucking up, and the only issue I had was last night if I enter and then I can't exit. Because I'm quick, as you know. If I see $30, I'm see you later. So I couldn't enter for so long.
That has got to be the biggest win I've seen from you.
And I said that live on camera. And again, it was one of those ones where it started to run again. So it hit 30 in like literally 20 milliseconds, and I seen it and I'm gone. Can't stop it. But that would have ran a lot longer. But yeah.
Yeah, see, that really gets to my first point. When you talk about speed versus probability. So that's why I was saying, gambling or high risk investing. So my main point here is that if you're actually trading the 5-minute chart, or is it less than that than you're trading? Like the 1 minute?
What it is? It's 1 minute only. Well, here's the thing, right? I'll give you my system, and then I'd love for you guys, because there's a lot of traders now. We're going after this trading audience. This is kind of what we're interested in, which is big for Bobby. I've never seen him more happy because I'm pretty sure he's sick about talking about the news because it's the same questions all the time as when is XRP going to hit $1,000? And we are absolutely tired of it, to be honest. So the way I'm done running these nightly trades is I come in on the 15 minutes, okay, at day one, okay, at 9:30, right? I got there a little bit early last night. 15 minutes, I'm looking where we currently are on the GG indicator and where we currently are on your stock RSI, right? That's kind of like step one. And once I see where we're at, I'm kind of like trying to predict where we're going to go in the short time frames because I don't want to trade in the 50 minutes. I want to be really trading on 1 to 5, ideally 1. Okay, so that's the first thing I do. The next thing I do is I go to 5. Okay, and I'm seeing the same kind of things. Well, we were green on the GG on 5. I think we were green also on the GG on 15, and then I'll scale it in. And if it still makes sense, I'll start to go. So, for example, on this one, I would probably go long. Why did that happen? And that's what I would do.
Okay, I see. But basically, back to my point, this is just the strategy that you're using right now. It actually prioritizes speed, and you're doing things constantly, right? Taking trades constantly. So this is at the expense of probabilities, right? Because you have to be quick. If you look the other way, or you forget about a trade, and since you're not putting stop losses or anything like that, it could be gone. So that's why you're playing with speed. My point was basically the higher time frames, they slow everything down. So this allows you to actually put trades in that will play out based on market structure and not just on an impulse move, if that makes sense.
It makes 100% sense.
But then again, it seems like you have a higher appetite for risk than I do.
Unlimited funds. So that's kind of category number one. If you are a trader, and Isaac, you got to stop moving your fingers, bro. Every stream I have to tell you this. It just keeps moving. If you are a trader, this is not recommended, right? I'm doing these to get better at the 1 minute to the 5 minutes, right? That's the kind of strategy I like. I like fast pace. I've got my hodl bag. That is what I like. And there's a lot of guys that don't like that, right? Probably like you, Bobby, if you're being honest, it's not your preferred way to trade, right? That could be because you like the 50 minutes, the 1 hour, the weekly, or the daily, right? And there's nothing wrong with that. You're going to get more accuracy if you do decide to play that game, especially on indicators like this. That's for sure.
Yes.
Yes.
100. I mean, 100%.
Okay, let's go on. Noise or signal, right? So this is exactly what you said, and this is exactly what we just covered, right? Lower time frames are full of market noise, fake moves, stop hunts that can feel random, and I've definitely felt like that trading on these time frames. And remember, it's only been 5 days. Higher time frames filter out that noise and reveal the true trend of the market. Yeah, and that's because when we created this indicator and you made it a lot better, all the GG indicator is, as far as I'm aware, is it follows a trend. That's all it literally is in a nutshell.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, it uses a combination of certain moving averages, and it will give you the trend. So it's just a confluence tool, right? And what does that mean? It's just basically sort of a confirmation tool, but you don't really want to, if you're going to be trading, you don't really want to use it on its own because you don't have the complete picture. Right now, at least, I'm glad I was able to convince you to use the stock RSI, so that way you have two confluences.
Yeah, and that was my point. I don't want to say the stock RSI has like made me win with my trading strategy, but since I put this on, like it's just made it a lot clearer to kind of see the trend. And I will not enter any single trade unless I get full confirmation. Like here's the reality of the GG indicator. Although this is a free indicator and you can get it for free and we'll never fucking sell you anything whether you like it or not. The reality of the GG indicator in the minutely is it's not going to be fucking accurate all the time. And either is the accuracy of the GG indicator plus the RSI. It's not going to be accurate all the time. But if I can get two confirmations instead of one, it makes me feel a lot better. And like I said, for 15 trades, it's worked every single time on my very, 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 very slow or fast time frames, right? And the reality is, if you start to scale this out to the weekly, you're going to get a completely different reality, right? If I just put this on the log or whatever, you can see Bitcoin's been in a green trend since February 2023, right? But for some people that only have an hour and a half to stream at nighttime, what am I going to do? I was long 2 years ago. I just check in and here we are, right? So that's the difference, okay? And that's why I think this, to be honest, on the weekly should be used for a hodl portfolio, right? This is the GG indicator on the weekly is my hodl play, right?
Yeah, absolutely. And like I said, with the way you're trading, the stock RSI makes perfect sense because it's very fast, it's very sensitive. Even though you have a lot more noise, but it works for your scalping mindset and basically your lower time frames. It's giving you better entries. If that makes sense, because you couldn't do this just with the GG.
Yeah, it would be less accurate, that's for sure. And it's nice. It's nice because I refuse to enter. Anyways, let's get to questions. Let's get to the next points. Is it a high risk to invest now? Well, I'll chuck that to you, Bobby, first. I've obviously got the same answer that I always say. Is it high risk to invest now? If you're talking about investing itself, what do you think about that?
I mean, as far as investing right now, I mean, yes, it's always going to be high risk because right now, as I said before, I'm waiting for them, and by them I mean the market makers, to take us up to guide us to the next leg down, if that makes sense.
Okay, so fear and greed is at 25. And to be honest, you have to ask yourself, and everybody's always asking these questions, on these streams. Should I buy now? Yesterday was SUI. The day before was HBAR. The day before that was probably ADA. It's always the same question. If you're investing for a longer term, and you believe this run is still intact, yeah, you're not going to be sorry about investing. If you're investing / trading to try and find the bottom of a coin, that's a different game. Because remember, Bobby, we had some girl that was trying to short or long Pepe and crypto.com remember that when the Bitcoin opened up and it was like that massive red and we were struggling to get in a trade? Like she wasn't investing. You remember that?
Yes.
So like that's a different game, right? She was trying to use leverage to short Crow or Pepe. I can't remember. So it just depends what you mean. Is it high risk to invest now? Well, it's never going to be a bad risk to invest in Bitcoin, regardless of the price, under 100K if you're here for the long term. Is it high risk to invest into SUI? Maybe, because it's that falling knife right now, but in the long term, probably not. It's a high risk to invest in some meme coin and pump.fund, because you probably never see it come back again. Yes. So it just depends what amount, how's your portfolio looking, and what effing coin, in a nutshell.
Yeah, absolutely. And going back to that point, I think we'll see a relief rally very, very, very soon for Bitcoin. So we'll definitely revisit the 100K, I believe.
Yeah. Okay. Really depends. Japan oil. Someone say XRP. He's always here. Guess we're round tripping again. BTC back testing the bear flag. Bobby's voice is so smooth. You ever looked into any pre-sales? I mean, that's a question for you, Bobby, right? You mentioned in our 10K fast track, what was the coin gain on Dex Screener or Dex Tools, if you're quick?
Yeah, Dex Screener.
Yep.
Used to be Dex Tools. The one that I was playing, it's Dino on Sol.
DINO?
DINO, yes.
Now, before we mention this, nobody on this stream in future fucking buy this, okay? Just to be clear. You have to. I mean, maybe they should. Fuck me.
Yeah, I mean, to be fair, it's not a pre-sale.
You're right.
But I mean, I just see a lot of these. So I just take asymmetric bets and I'm fully prepared to lose it all because this is the straight up casino gambling. But a lot of times, like I said, they do pay off. You throw in one soul, next thing you know, it just 10x's. You get out, move on to the next one.
The question people are going to have is why this, right? Why this fucking stupid coin? What was it about these coins? Because you seem to have a higher win rate than what I've seen the normal people, right? And that's not to like, shoot you up and pat you on the back and like try and, oh, Bobby's the greatest. But that's what I've seen. I've seen a lot of people that do this kind of stuff and not have as much higher win rate as you. So what is it about stupid coins like this that you look for?
I mean, to be fair, basically, I just like the noise in a lot of these coins. And what do I mean by that? A team that's actually active, they need to have reached the bonding curve. And it has to be a team that hasn't rugged in the past and that they actually show up. Because these people for this coin, they actually show up every day for streams on Telegram, a lot of these things. So it's basically just momentum. That's all they have. It's just a meme coin. It has no intrinsic value whatsoever. But they're doing a couple cool things. There's like it's an actual artist. Like a lot of these coins, all the drawings and stuff are AI. This is an actual artist actually drawing this stuff, which kind of differentiates it from every single coin that's launching on Pump That Fund. So they're pretty active. They're doing spaces all the time, and that's what really matters. They're rating all the time. And I actually know one of the guys is actually running this. So it gave me a little bit more confidence that they weren't going to rug. But I made my money. I probably should have stayed longer, but I treat them like, shit coins.
And that's exactly where they are. So again, nobody buy this. This is an example. I know you mentioned pre-sale, not really a pre-sale, but you get the point. So that's what he looks for. It's just going to completely depend on exactly what he said. If there's a good team, if they're actually updating, because how many times have we seen pre-sales or new coins out and the team just leaves and then they're launching a new one because they've made their money? You don't want that. These guys obviously are here to make their money, if we're being honest, right? They're probably not long term, okay? They might be, but if we're being honest, that's just reality. So if you can find this, that's probably a good sign. But remember, this is, again, we always talk about this because we had that question before. This is not really investing the way I see investing, right? This is getting in and getting out. Like, how long were you in this, Bobby, for? If you be realistic.
I mean, this was like a 3-day, 4-day play for me.
There you go. So you invested in it, but it wasn't like, hey, I'm buying Bitcoin for the long term, right? That's just the way I would word it. So yes, we do get in pre-sales, mostly Bobby. Again, it's not really a pre-sale, but yeah, they come in, they come out.
And you do remember back in the day how many people you actually turned down that they were offering you to promote all these coins that you knew that were just going to scam, the people that they wanted you to promote. And that's like the coolest thing about you. Like, you actually had a conscience, and you're like, no, yeah, I'm not going to do this because.
And now we just sell a free Discord and make no money.
I just don't understand why people want to wreck their audience. I mean, I do believe in karma, man. All that stuff comes back to you. If you're just taking the money and you're willingly going to rug people, I mean, that's just, nobody's going to trust you afterwards.
Yeah, if you have good sponsors, man, like we're trying to work out a deal with TradingView, like that would be a sick fucking sponsor. Like, even if it's just an affiliate link or something, like we literally sell a free Discord, right? Which means that we just fucking post a Discord and I do the GG indicator for free. But if we can get a deal with like TradingView, I don't think anybody's going to feel bad about fucking TradingView, because we're TradingView, they're not going to rug, right? It's a fucking software that we use every single day, multiple times per day. So projects like that, sponsors like that are sick, but they're just hard to come by, because most of the time they're big enough, right? It's the shit coins that need marketing, especially in times like today. But, it is what it is. It is what it is. Frequency or quality. It's your next point on this kind of topic here. What does that mean? When we're talking about trading specifically.
All right. So for me, when it comes to frequency versus quality, I'm basically saying, when you're playing the scalping game, you look at the 5-minute candles, for example, and again, it just increases the trade frequency, but it often lowers the quality of the trade, right? So you can't stay there very long. So you have to be quick in and out. Mm-hmm. And then, the higher time frame, it just focuses on fewer but higher quality setups. And basically, going back to your strategy, looking at the higher time frames, you have a clear risk to reward ratio. So, I mean, you could put on your trade and you can say like, okay, I'm going for a 2R, basically make twice as much as what you can lose.
Yeah, let's talk about that. Talk about that. I want to talk about that real quick. Sorry if you had another point, because I'll forget. This is very important.
No, that's it. Okay,
cool. So the 2R, right? This is what I was learning as well from you and from Ram, right? Shout out fucking Ram, although he holds 100% of his portfolio in BCH. God bless him, but we love him. Talk about this little indicator here. This is what he was trying to educate to me. And I know you've touched on it as well. What does that mean? Okay, on these time frames, 1 hour. What does that even mean?
So basically, if you're doing 1 hour, it's just basically, let's put it this way. For 1 hour, if you're putting $20 in a trade, for example, you'll make $20. Mm-hmm. But it also means that you can lose $20.
Okay.
So it's basically that's a 1-to-1.
Yep.
Now you want to have to be consistent over time and to be profitable over time. You got to have anything over 1. So like a 1.1 will already make you profitable. But ideally, what you want to do in every single setup is have a 2R, right? You basically put 20, and if you're right on your idea, you're going to make 40, and if you're wrong, you lose 20. That's
okay,
2R.
So if you look at my screen right now, I know this is obviously not anywhere charted, etc., but this is basically saying 2, right? This is like, because what I was doing obviously was completely different, right? Let's just be 100% real, and I will not change my strategy yet. But is this what you're kind of looking for in a trade like this on the 5 minutes, for example? Not that these are the levels, right? I'm just using this little tool because that's what he was showing me.
Yes, absolutely. I mean, even though that's slightly a little bit more than, but yeah, give or take, it's 2 to 1, so 2R. Yes.
Okay, that's interesting, right? Because that just means to say that maybe you don't need to win anywhere close to 100% of the time with a strategy like this if you're managing your downside with stop losses, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay. Because if somebody that wins trading 50-50, like if you win 50% of your trades, okay, which seems like, oh, well, you to a normal person, you're probably break even. You would technically come out ahead with something like this if you're managing it.
Yeah, I talk about that all the time. Okay. Over 20 trades, if you're right half the time and wrong half the time, and you control your risk, basically at 2 to 1 or 2R, you will come out ahead after those 20 trades. Even if, being right half the time doesn't make you a great trader, but it makes you a profitable one.
Cool. Which is crazy, right? You never really think about that. If you win 50% of the times, you would think, well, I'm probably at break even, if not worse. But if you're playing that 2R, okay, you will come out ahead.
Exactly, because if out of those 20 trades you win 10 and you make 40 per trade, that's 400, right?
Yes.
And if you only lose $20 per trade and you lose 10 of them, that's 200. So
e.g., you come out ahead.
You get a positive 200. And I know people don't get excited about that, but that's, if you can get that psychology tool into your head, if you can drive that into the way you trade, you will come out profitable every single time.
Yes, sir. A couple guys joined the Discord. We appreciate you. We'll get you set up with the GG either during or after this stream. So good to meet you in there. All right. This is interesting. And this is where I feel like this is a dig at me, Bobby, when I look at this kind of point. Emotion or patience. Okay. Now, you've seen me trade. Okay.
Yes.
I am the highest win ratio crypto trader on YouTube live streaming. Do you know how I am the highest crypto trader YouTuber and live streaming, right? Do you want me to tell you why?
Yeah, just tell me, because what I was going to say is going to sound terrible.
Hey, because nobody fucking live streams actual trades. That's why. So even if I lost, there's like very few guys that try and sell you indicators, and we don't sell you. I always joke about when I hit a $30 profit trade, buy my $5,000 trading course. And somebody actually thought I was being serious. There's no $5,000 trading course. Because nobody else does it, right? But in reality, I know I need to work on emotion and patience. And a lot of people need to work on emotion outside of trading, right? We've came from the background of making news videos for years and building up a HODL portfolio kind of community, which is sick, right? Sick. I'm still there with you on my HODL portfolio, right? Again, I'll just show you in real time. It's probably getting wrecked right now. I have $804,000 in a HODL portfolio that I've technically held since the start of my journey, even after having to rebuy this. And emotions here is very high, right? We still have a HODL community, right? How many times, Bobby, you probably don't see this as much as me, or people asking, even in our private group, the one that we actually do charge for with DeFi, are people asking about the market. And you can see a little bit of emotions. I'm not going to mention names, but you know exactly what I'm talking about, right? So
yes,
if we bring this back to fucking trading, when there's leverage involved where you can actually lose the coins, because to me, I don't see a problem, and a lot of people don't understand this. If Bitcoin goes down literally 50%, it will absolutely suck long-term or short-term, but I still hold the Bitcoin. So I'm past that reality stage of like, oh, this is just dollar value, but I still hold the Bitcoin, so I don't really care. In a solid coin. In a shit coin, I do care, like Gala Games. But with trading, I am feeling the beginner emotion that I used to feel if there was a crash on my HODL portfolio. If you understand what I'm talking about there, Bobby.
Yeah, no, I do.
So what do you mean about emotion or patience? Because I need to work on that. Is it just time?
Yeah, I mean,
is it just, what is it?
So basically, I mean, going back to the 5-minute chart, you look at it, They, you look at the exchange, you get the green candles, you get the red candles. All that stuff is basically marketing towards your psychology, right? It's meant to trigger fear, it's meant to trigger FOMO, it's meant to make you revenge trade. If you lose one, you're like, oh crap, let's go at it again, double or nothing. Sort of that casino mentality. And this actually just turns decision emotional very, very quickly. But to my point, the high time frames actually reward patience and discipline, and this aligns more closely with a professional trading behavior. So, I mean, let me ask you a question real quick. If you click buy on a 5-minute candle because it looks good, if you have no plan, you have no stop loss, you have no rules, are you really trading, or are you in a digital casino, wearing a chart in disguise?
Was that a dig? Or were you actually asking me? Or asking
No,
because I will say live on camera, I'm 15 for 16. I am the most profitable trader alive on YouTube. Because nobody else trades. And when I see $30, I'm gone. See you later. Yeah, that was my biggest trade. That was my biggest profit. 30. I think I made 60 yesterday. I actually lost one in Solana because my exchange was glitching. Okay, I'm not going to blame the exchange. I lost $5, but it was a lot worse. Here's the reality, and this is what I said to you, Bobby, would happen. I said this live on camera. Because I'm such a little paper hand pussy right now, sorry for swearing, not really, because I cash out so fast, all it's going to take, even if I've won 15 trades in a row, right, all it's going to take for me to be wrong one time, big time, and I'll lose, I could potentially lose $2,000, right? So all these little, and this is my problem with trading right now that I need to get over, all these little baby trades that I'm doing because I'm cashing out way too early, I'm not turning that the $30 trade to $300 trades because some of them do run to that, right? Because I'm scared, right? One of these $2,000 fucking losses is going to hit, and all the work I've done for this month is just going to be erased because of one bad trade, right? That's just reality. And the Solana trade, Bobby, was starting to do that. It got to minus $80, and I was like, fuck, we've just erased the last. Because I don't even care about the money we're doing with the $30. It's just more for fun, but it's just about trying to actually trade. And even if I use real money, it feels like I'm actually part of it rather than paper trading. I don't want to do that shit because I'm using the money as education. But that Solana trade almost fucking wrecked everything in the last couple of days because it just ran the wrong way. Now, luckily, Bitcoin started to pump, and like I said, I only lost $5 on it, so break even, give or take.
But then again, you didn't get liquidated; you closed it.
Yeah.
Right. Okay. Well, that just goes back to my point. This is not a dig at you. It's just basically, if the results actually depend on how you feel in the moment, you're kind of gambling. So what I'm trying to make out of you is actually make you rule based instead of emotional. So basically say, whatever you put on this trade, let it run and let it do what it's going to do.
Yep.
Because oftentimes people just close the trades way too early. They get scared, they panic, just for them to find out that price action never really got even close to their liquidation zone or to their stop loss, and it's just a little scare, and they could have won that trade if you actually execute it correctly with a plan. That's all I'm saying. I'm not necessarily saying you're gambling. I'm just saying you just need to have that plan, right? At what point are you going to close that trade, or at what point is it going to trigger a take profit level, and at what point does it hit a stop loss?
Yes. Something that needs to be scaled in. Because you don't get a lot of time, like he said. You were there, one of the streams. I was looking at a trade. The RSI was fucking oversold. The GG was about to flip. 15-minute got confirmation. I was looking at the 1 minute. Couple questions in chart. On this time frame, you've missed it. Limit orders need to be is a good strategy as well. Local lows that you could do even on the minutely. But we're learning. And that's the game.
Yeah, and here's another point. Those 1 minute, 3 minute, 5 minute candles, they trigger dopamine to the point where they actually make you hesitate.
I don't enter. To be clear, that's one thing you got to give me, Bobby. If I don't see a confirmation, I will not enter. You seen that on the Bitcoin 2 days ago when 9:30 came and it was just red, and I just refused to enter. You know, I could have tried to buy it back or buy a fall knife, and that's basically what happened, but I refused to enter. So that's one thing I will say that I'm a little bit good at compared to all the rest, is I will not enter unless I have confirmation.
Touche. However, you also close them too early.
Oh yeah, 100%.
There's some trades that you could have let them run.
We're
if you
right
actually
there.
had a plan.
We're right there.
They could have been gamblers.
We're right there. We're right there. We agree. We agree. The crypto expert ran the same trade as me on the Discord, and I can't remember, but he ran it for fucking loads. The exact same trade. So you're 100%. One thing I'm good at is sticking to the guns. One thing I'm really bad at, I need to work on, is not cashing out too early on this minutely time frame.
And also, I believe you're also more inclined to close trades because they're in green. So that way you can say you won it.
And I'm trying to be a little bit funny. You know, I'm kind of doing this thing behind the scenes where I'm kind of like stacking these baby wins. So there's something happening there that that I'm building in the background. So I do want to say that without giving away too much for more kind of like Instagram. So there's something there I need to keep in mind for like a couple of reels, etc. So there is that. But yeah, when I see green, the way BitUnix have their whole platform set up, it's like dopamine's there, bam. Let me get that screenshot. I don't know.
Oh man, there's something about those screenshots. They are so cool.
Bro, look at these screenshots. If you want to be addicted to trading, okay, where is it? The apple's kind of gay. Like, if I just bang a 412% ROI, you're going to give me an apple? Like, what does that even mean? On a short...
It's weird because it's the golden apple. It's like you're going to break your teeth biting into it.
Yeah, this is a crypto expert, by the way, but like, let's just pretend this is me. I just took a massive liquid leverage at 200x. I ripped this fucking trade for 412% and you give me a golden apple. I don't want to see that. I want to see some fucking action figures like this, okay? This is 100%. I want to see a Rolls Royce and a fat panda. Or what is this? He's not a panda. I don't know what he is. What is he?
It's a polar bear.
Polar bear, panda, polar bear, cold animals, etc. I don't want to see an apple, but BitUnix are very, 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 very addicting. I don't like this one. This is kind of gay. I would show this on the lost screen, to be honest. Like, what the fuck is this? But BitUnix is very, very addicting. Very, very addicting when you get those wins. And they do give you some cool mystery boxes, which is kind of nice. So anybody that signed up with my link, maybe check your link. You might have some mystery boxes. That is also very addicting. And I believe they're giving away an iPhone and a Tesla and a Mustang GT. So there is that. Let's move on.
I definitely love it. And,
Go on, sorry.
You tried to get me out of MEXC for the longest, and this actually did it. I love the platform.
MEXC is good, right? MEXC is good. Like, I'll just tell you the real. I can't even log on in MEXC on this phone number. I need to update the app, but I can't update the app because I'm in Thailand, so I need to use a VPN. I don't like that, but it is what it is. But MEXC, they took away, as far as I'm aware, they like when you win a trade on MEXC, right? And this should not be the reason why you're trading to try and chase dopamine, but it definitely does help. When you win a trade on MEXC, what happens, Bobby? Probably nothing, as far as I'm aware now.
No, I mean, you just get your P&L, but there's no pictures. Before, you used to get like a little rocket if you're winning, or if you lose a trade, it's just like meteorites falling down the sky with fire.
It's just lazy, in my opinion. Because MEXC is known for a little bit, hey, most of these, at least back in the day, back when we used to use them, hey, this is where some coins early days are going to get risky on here, like listed, if that makes sense. So like, give me something. And I just didn't like it for that. Great platform, used it a lot back in the day. I know you're a loyal fan, Bobby. But I don't know, BitUnix is just more cleaner. I like the setup. I can understand it a little bit more when I'm on futures, especially. It's very easy to get out, get in, and I have no issue 24/7 coming on BitUnix, except last night for 20 seconds, or 20 minutes, but I believe that was my fault because nothing was working bar YouTube. Let's answer some of these questions and we'll get back to your point. We've got 23 minutes left. Silver breaking out. There's a CAG token for silver. Any thoughts on GRT? What is GRT?
I have no idea what that is.
Is that the graph? There's no way that's the graph. We should know what that is. It's been so long since I've even looked at coins like this. Is it the graph?
GRT.
Okay, I'm just going to pretend it is the graph. Is this an AI coin or a gaming? I forgot. It's been so long. This coin's been around for so long. I mean, the chart looks terrible, but most kind of coins do. Any thoughts on the graph, Bobby? I know you've heard of the graph.
Yeah, I've heard of it, but I've never been into it, and I haven't heard about it for a while now. This was more like a last cycle type of coin.
Yeah, exactly what happened, right? 2021, you could see it went crazy. Again, it's not meaning it's dead. It's 410 market cap million, circling supply. You can buy it in most exchanges. It's just coins like this don't excite me. And that's not because it's a bad coin. Like, nothing really excites me right now. That's why I'm doing this trading kind of challenge, because I don't want to buy any coins, and I'm not going to buy this coin because I just buy fucking Sui that I believe in more, that's probably on more of a discount than this. So nothing wrong with the coin. Did well in 2021. Hopefully it's not an old dinosaur coin like some people are putting these coins into that narrative. I don't believe it will do, but it's got a long way to go if you're looking at 2021's high. And that was another question I got last night. It was something about Solana reaching $1,000 is psycho. And basically what I said, and Bobby, you can come here as well. This is more back to kind of like price predictions, etc. Not really trading. $1,000 looked like a clean setup in 2024, right? You were pretty much at 2021's high. You were saying, okay, well, we're 1 year early into cycle. Q4 2025 is going to kick in, what we hoped. Yeah, Solana will 4x from here, surely. But where we are right now, we're nowhere near $1,000. So I would say not possible. And I think he was asking in the next couple of months. In my opinion, not possible. Possible, but not possible. Here it was possible in 2024. Thoughts on that?
Yeah, I mean, I think it's going to be next year before we actually see anything move from our altcoins. Solana will definitely move. Will we get to $1,000? I don't know.
Again, it's your time frame. You'll get to $1,000 eventually if Solana survives, and I believe it will. And I know you like Solana compared to Ethereum as a kind of bet there for auto bag. But you're not going to get to Solana in fucking 12 days or 13 days. No. It's just not going to happen, bro. And that's fine. Because you buy it at 128, it goes down to 115, you get a little bit more, and you start to learn the game of investing. And then if you want to go further than that, you learn DeFi, like me and Parker are talking about. And then if you want to go further than that, you don't copy me in the minute. You speak to Bobby and get the GG indicator, and you stick a strategy you like. And that's all you can really do. Because you can't be asking about coins prices that they're going next week, okay? Unless you're trading on the week, you're speculating. But if you're investing, it's a totally different game, man. It's a total, and that's why I can come, like, I know I joke in these trades, Bobby, right? I'm 50% joking, as you probably know, but I'm obviously 50% being serious, right? Of course, I'm trying to win trades. I'm entering here, but I'm just cashing out too early. But there's a different kind of confidence you can come into, and this is not to flex, etc. This is just to show you that I've been through this cycle twice. And this was at $0 in 2022, but I can lose money on trades just to play the game, okay? If you have $1,000, I would rather you invest that, to be honest, and maybe have 20% of that in trading and play with a little bit of leverage. I don't want you to blow the $1,000 in a trading account. I would rather you become an investor first and then use trading as well on the side. Just my opinion. But that's what I did. I can't tell you what to do. There's traders out there that just be traders.
Yeah, I mean, absolutely. And to that point, anybody that can't turn, basically like a $10 into $100 or $100 into $1,000 in their trading account, you probably shouldn't be putting a lot of money there.
Can I ask how that challenge is going? I know you mentioned it a couple of times, but you never keep us updated.
I basically I'm a little bit over double. I think I have like 240. So
let's map this down, because a lot of people are not going to understand what the F you're talking about. So what I'm going to do is pull up Exodraw. You are doing what?
So basically just decided that I was going to deposit $100 and I was going to grow it to 1,000. Because in a way, I always, I do these big trades with small leverage, but I just wonder if I still got it, right? So I said, basically, if I can't do this, because I used to do it back in the day all the time, then, I shouldn't be putting more money. It's a new exchange, right?
You see, when you said that, I just got so many flashbacks of like, we're going to go way off topic, but it's like, if I still got it. It's like that guy that goes to the gym that used to bench press some amount, and then he goes there and just fucking breaks himself. we used to joke about this all, and I became one of those guys, like low key. I remember speaking to my friend. Oh, it's so sad. Dean, fucking love Dean. He's coming here in February. And we used to joke about this guy, not disrespectfully, but there used to be all these like older guys than us, and Dean's a little bit older than me, to be fair. But they would say, oh, I used to bench press 315 pounds, right? Which is like 140 kg. And we used to always like, oh yeah, bro, we were, Glasgow, Scotland, like we take the piss at each other all the time, right? You're a used to kind of guy, right? Oh, I used to do this. And I became one of those guys in the gym. I used to bench press the same. And then it's just like, oh, I don't even touch that. But yeah, exactly what you said. You don't want to like lose your touch on trading, right? Because this is a different game than you playing bigger trades with less leverage. So the goal is a 10x in your portfolio, okay?
Yeah, absolutely. And from there,
what is the strategy?
Now with this strategy, I'm basically taking a little bit more risk than I usually would. So I'm basically doing give or take 10x leverage, and I would basically do give or take $10 per trade.
Really?
So basically playing with $100 per trade.
Okay. Let's keep breaking this down. Fast paced though, because we're running out of time. So this is a strategy, and I think this is going to hit home to a lot of people, because a lot of people are kind of, and I would always say $100, you have no chance. But if you can do this, if you can actually do this, and it sounds like you've already doubled your portfolio, I'll take back all the shit I always say about the $100 guys. But to be fair, when somebody pulls up with a $100 thing, they're asking about investing, which I would say is a no-go, because you're not going to do anything. Sure, get your feet wet, learn how to use Coinbase, etc. But if you can do this, I'll take back all the bad shit I've said about the $100 guys, okay? You're already up more than a 2x. So let's break this down even more, because and I can use this to clip. This is actually great content for Instagram. So $100 to 1K is a 10x, right? Give or take, right? You're using 10x leverage on $10 trades. Let's break this down even more, because you don't want to be like me that's cashing out after $30, or in your case, probably $3 with this amount of money. When is the good way that you would cash out, or are you looking at the RR that you talked about at the start of the stream? How does this trade go, if this makes sense?
I mean, so basically, let's say the price of an asset actually moves 10%. At that point, that's a $10 win, right?
Mm-hmm.
Does that make sense?
Yes, because it's 10x leverage.
Yeah, so give or take, I'm stopping there.
Okay.
And I just basically keep going. Now, I haven't won every single trade. Everybody who tells you they win every trade is a liar.
Except for me, although I lost one yesterday.
Okay. Everybody's a liar but you, Jake. Anyways. Yeah, so I think it's a total of, I think it's 12 to 14 trades.
12 to 14 trades. Okay, we're building up for now. Again, nobody should be copying this. This is just his strategy, which is different than my strategy, right?
Yes.
Okay. But what?
But nothing. And you just
I thought you said
keep going. So, and
okay,
I've actually been using basically a 2% stop on the price. So any trade that I lose is basically, it's about a $2 loss, if that makes sense.
I respect you for having this patience, man, because there's no way in hell that I would do this shit.
So basically,
I respect you.
just put it this way: if you lose 5 trades in a row, doing it the way I was doing it, you're basically losing $10. If that makes sense.
Yeah.
So my account would still be $90, and I'm still alive.
Mm-hmm.
What's so funny?
I don't. Oh, so you can see me on stream. I forgot. Bro, I just respect the patience, and I really appreciate that you're doing this for the small guys that want to get started. Like, because I would not have the patience to like just come in here with this and just like lose $2. But I can understand compounding it. You've doubled your account. Okay, so like as you start to get to higher your $200 or whatever you said, as you get to the 300, 400, touch on wood, if you get there, are you still going to be using this same strategy, or do you start to bring it up with more money in trades, or you just want to keep it the same?
No, I mean that's the way this works. I mean, you stay consistent. However, at that point, when I get to those $1,000, I do the 2% size per trade. So basically, what I was telling you before, $20 per trade.
Okay.
At that point, you target a 2R. So basically, trying to make $40 per trade. In worst case scenario, you lose 20.
Okay.
You do the same thing every single time. And as your account grows, you keep that 2% position size, but you're not risking a higher percentage of your portfolio. You keep it at 2% every time.
Okay. That makes a lot more sense, because when you start to build up your portfolio balance, and this is what we always say about the HODL portfolio, right? We call this slaying the dragon, right? If you're $100 and you do want to invest in crypto, hey, I'm not going to stop you. Get your feet wet. The goal is to slay the dragon, the 1K, right? The goal is to get to that next kind of level of zeros in your net worth or your portfolio. And it goes for the same for the 1K to the 10K, the 4 figures to the 5 figures. So it sounds like you're playing the same kind of game there as you start to enter the next kind of bracket. You know, you're now going to be taking on more money per trade, because once you get to, I'm not saying you're going to get to this because you're going to complete the challenge, but if you had a 7-figure fucking portfolio trading account, you're not going to do this kind of numbers because nothing would fucking matter, right? But it's all relevant. It's all absolutely relevant. And we say this in DeFi for guys that join our fast track. We've got guys making 40 to 60K per month on $1 million portfolio, but how much percent is he getting? It's all relative, okay? So it's the same game, it sounds like, that you're doing here.
Exactly, because think about it this way: once you have a 10, let's just say we double our account from 1,000 at that point, from 1,000 to 2,000. At that point, you're doing $40 per trade. To make $80 per trade, if it goes well, lose 40. So that's how you just keep growing, not taking more risk. But obviously, as you grow, so does the amount of money you put on a trade, but not the percentage, not the position size. That should always stay the same.
Okay, cool. We got 11 minutes. You're lagging a little bit for me, but I think it's okay, so don't change anything. GRT, we talked about that. Direction from the 6 hour and 1 hour, entry on the 3 minute. Can you see that comment, Bobby? Direction from the 6 hour and the 1 hour, entry on the 3 minute, high leverage and roll with it. I don't know if you're asking us a question for our trades. We'll never tell you what to trade, by the way. You can copy us if you want, but we will not tell you directly. At least I won't tell you what to do. I'd rather make a little than lose a lot. Cool. Yeah, that's basically what I'm doing to test my kind of strategy. All the alt season boys screaming traders now. I don't know if you're digging us there, but crypto's on vacation. How long have you been on HRT? I don't know what HRT means. If you say TRT, 10 years plus. HRT, I don't know what that means. Somebody's messaged me in Discord. That's annoying. Bobby's probably left. Dude, thank you for the show. These are really fun. Appreciate you. HODL is dead. It's all leveraged, no alt season. Okay, that's a question. HODL is dead, Bobby. It's all leveraged, no alt season.
I still believe, like I said before, there's going to be an all season, but it's going to be a select few.
Okay.
Not anytime soon, but probably first quarter of next year, unless something else changes.
Okay, let me dissect that question. So, for now, okay, the question is always the same. You entered crypto at the highs. You have to understand, Bobby, there's going to be a lot of people that bought the 125 and it was their first time to buy, right? Because everybody gets in at a different time. Okay, maybe some guys re-entered 125, 26 they bought, and they're thinking, okay, now we're on the way. It's always the same answer if you're talking about investing. What price did you get in relative to where you are right now? And can you emotionally handle that, like he mentioned before, which was emotion or patience that we touched on, right? So if you bought Bitcoin at $16,000, are you panicking? I wouldn't be. You're not panicking. Now, you wish you would have sold like Bobby somewhat. Again, not trying to big him up the arse again. This is just what he did. I've seen it at 124, etc., etc. Now he can come back in with size at 75 if he decides to do so, because then you're making money on that. But I wouldn't call we haven't had any sort of a run. I wouldn't call. A lot of guys are saying, and this is just reality, they should have bought Bitcoin rather than some OG altcoins that haven't done well. Like, even for me, my Illumium, my Gala Games, has done absolutely terrible than buying Bitcoin, right? And you would think, although nothing's guaranteed as we're seeing right now in cryptocurrency, you would think, oh, I should have bought the Illumium and Gala Games and some other altcoins here as well into Bitcoin because I would have got better returns. But obviously when you're playing an altcoin season that you would expect, there's a reason why you do that, or at least I do that, and Bobby does that, right? There's a reason why you hold a fuck ton worth of Rune, right? Because you probably think it's going to beat Bitcoin's returns, or you would just buy Bitcoin, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
So
Just a small correction. I didn't sell at 124. It was like 118, 119. So I didn't catch the exact top. Just to stay
you get the point.
factually correct.
You get the point. You get the point. Nobody's going to call you a liar or a scammer because I got that wrong, Bobby. Don't worry about that. Don't worry about that. So yeah, I wouldn't say HODL is dead. It's all leverage. HODL has been great for me, right? I'm up like 500K or 450K, but it's been a long, painful journey for somebody that hasn't experienced 2021's like wreckage, right? So that's just reality. I wish I would have sold. I wish I would have rebought, but the reality is, like, I'm not here to do that. I'm not here to do that in that portfolio. And that's why I almost have 3 portfolios now. You got the DeFi portfolio, you got the HODL portfolio, and now you have a 9-10K trading portfolio to play with. So that's just, it depends where you are. Hey, how's it going? I'm a new trader starting off at $110. I do some streaming on it. That's fucking perfect, Bobby. I know we don't have long left, but Bobby is literally doing $100 and you have $110. Now, if Bobby, hold your breath, Bobby. I know you're going to say something. You want to jump in there and help the guy out. If you never gave the strategy before here, I would have called you out and just said, get a job. But the fact that he is doing this real time, I encourage you to trade that. It's fine.
Yeah, I mean, absolutely. And this is the point where you actually have to use a little bit more leverage. But if you understand that correctly, I mean, leverage is just going to accelerate the amount of gains you get. It's not going to change the math if you keep your position size the same.
Yep.
So basically, don't grab the entirety of your account balance, pump up the leverage, because that usually doesn't go out the way you think it's going to go.
Isaac. Just putting me on screen reading my phone. I don't know why he does that. Anyways, let's keep going on. We only have 5 minutes left. HODL is dead. We already talked about that. Yeah, so if you're doing streaming, I'm not going to check out your channel on stream because I'm too lazy to type in your name. The Key of Wisdom Gods, go and fucking subscribe to him. Go and show him some love. Somebody go and donate him $100 so you can have more to trade with. But keep fucking doing what you're doing, bro. Keep doing what you're doing. $110. Well, let's not encourage anything, Bobby, but it would be fun to see who can blow their account first or hit $1,000 first out of used to. I'm not going to encourage fucking going crazy, okay, and just fucking taking trades you don't want to do, but it would be fun to see who gets there first, if any of you get there, and how many trades it takes. How about that? There's not a race. It would be interesting to see that. What American platform need no VPN? For what? For trading? For exchange? Bobby, you're American. Does BitUnex need a VPN?
Actually, Coinbase, you can do Coinbase, but they don't have every single pair. They have quite a couple.
Does BitUnex need a VPN?
BitUnex does not, as far as I know.
We love BitUnex, and he just mentions Coinbase. Nice one. No,
oh no, I'm just saying in the U.S., right?
Okay.
I think which is the other one? Belofin, I think you don't need or Biofin. I forget the name. I don't think you need a VPN.
Okay. Gamble at all. No. Q1 2026 will be a bloodbath. Okay, we don't have time to really get into this. We'd love to. Real quick, Bobby. Q1 2026 will be a bloodbath in fucking 5 sentences maximum.
It's very likely. Very likely.
That's 5 words. Alt season, which select few and why? Don't go down the list, please. Your dental 3 alts and why? This is why we don't fucking talk about this shit anymore. My 3 favorite altcoins reflect my portfolio. That's really how it's happened. Ethereum, HBAR, Solana. Not for returns, for safe ability, and they made me the most amount of money on paper at current times of recording. Where we are right now. If I'm talking about risk/reward, potential more gains, I mean, Sui's look quite nice right now, but it just depends how much down the spectrum you want to go. It's a completely loaded question, but again, these are my altcoins for a reason. I've shared them many, many times, but keep in mind, some of the prices here, you might not be able to buy them to where we are right now. Some of them you can, but some of them I wouldn't buy right now, even at today's prices. I just refuse to sell at a loss. Or somebody retracted a message. Bitcoin will go down if we already have a BitUnex account. Can we still join? Ideally, we want you to use our BitUnex account because you do get better rewards. If it's such an issue, where you shouldn't do it. Just join our Discord. Again, we'll give you free access. But if you can pretty much just swap your account if you want. It'd be easier for us because that's how we're tracking it, because we don't want people in our group, and that's the only way we can track it, using that BitUnix trading account. Because if you leave and you give it to somebody else, it's fine. It's going to happen down the line, but that's the way we track it. So if you join, just message Bobby or fill in the little form, and we can swap you in 1 second. You don't even need to make a new account. Just send Bobby the ID and I can swap you on the back end. So you don't need to make a new account, because I can understand that if you've got money in there and you've set it all up with your verification, it's annoying. But with that UID, we can swap you in 1 second. And you can get the GG indicator. That's just the best way we can track it. Oh, it's Pillboy. My stream is called Pillboy. Thank you, boss. Your stream name is Pillowboy. Okay, go and subscribe to that guy. Let's see if he gets $1,000 before Bobby. Bobby, we have 2 minutes left. Anything left?
Anything left? Well, I mean, just don't chase the candles. Just it's either gambling or trading. So just become a trader if that's what you want to do, but always have a plan. That's all I can tell you.
How long does it take for somebody to become a trader? And when I say trader, anybody's a trader. Q's a trader. I'm a trader. If you do a trade, you're a trader. When I say trader, make income that recovers your job 3 to 4K per month. How long does that take if you're not prepared to fail, in your opinion?
It's very hard to say because it depends on how much work you're willing to put in.
I'm trading every single day. I'm talking about me. I'm trading every single day.
I don't know. I'd probably say, to be honest, it's going to take you like 6 months.
And I said, give me a year. Give me a year. I said, why is he on that screen, bro? Give me a year. Give me a year. That's my goal. It's been a great stream. Depends on your mentor. That's true. But I believe, I'll say this last thing. I believe, and Bobby, I don't know if you agree, I believe if you have money and you're prepared to lose it reasonably, okay, reasonably. You know, some people are saying I'm putting too much on the trades. That's fine. I get that. But compared to my portfolio and bank account, it's not. It's just relative to whatever you have. I believe the best way for me to learn trading, or somebody to learn trading, is to use your own money or use a paper account like some people do. I just refuse to do that because it just wouldn't feel right. I would rather lose money and win money. I believe the best way is to actually get in the game with you, with money you can comfortably afford to lose, than having a mentor. If you can have a mentor and you can afford a mentor, again, the problem with mentors is they're fucking way too expensive. Most shit I've seen is like $5,000, $10,000. What I've seen, right? That could be fine. It could work. But I would rather spend the $5,000 to learn how to trade, just by learning and being in the game every single day. Because you can be at the gym, need a personal trainer, or you can just go to the gym and learn every single day. It's best to have both, but the problem with like courses and trading, etc., is most courses on trading cost $5,000 to $10,000. If it was me and if I was in your shoes and you had a small amount of money, I would rather spend that in the market itself rather than buying a course and then having zero money to trade, in my opinion. That's all I got, Bobby. Any last words before Isaac cuts you off?
I mean, to be fair, you can find a lot of good info on YouTube, and it's free. You don't have to pay for all that education. And I'll say one more thing. Shout out to the YouTube expert or crypto expert. I've been checking out the channel he recommended, the Bare Naked guy, Crypto. He's got some pretty good content. So if you're willing to spend the time, kudos to that. So
kudos to that. All right, Isaac.
Great
GG.
share.
Cut me.